think we got it. All right, all right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Again, this is Andrew Snorton with Crave Community Solutions, and you are joining us for a great chat with a great person doing some great work in the Rockford, Illinois area. And as a quick reminder, you can stay connected with us on Facebook and YouTube on Crave Community Solutions. Make sure to stay connected with us on A Snorton CCS on Instagram and Twitter. And we'll just tell a little story about how we got here, because people see us for how we got here, but don't know what we had to go through. We had a couple technical issues with another platform, but that's the awesomeness when you're around creative people doing creative things. So I'm so excited. This is a person I got connected with last fall, doing some amazing work across the board: business, entrepreneurship, arts, and entertainment. She's got a great event coming up real soon. So I'm so excited to have Ms. Brandy Morris joining us, the CEO and creative genius behind Ladiworkz. How are you doing this afternoon?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, doing great. I hope you can hear me.
I can definitely hear you now.
Great. So before we get into your upcoming event, please give us a point of reference where you're based out of and what are some of the moving parts that your company Ladiworkz is able to cover, what you're able to do.
So Ladiworkz is a company made of multiple layers, basically. We started back in 2001 with Storms Entertainment being the first company that I started, which was meant to have promote parties, be able to get people in an environment that they would enjoy and have fun. And then we advanced to L&B Spoiled Clothing and Company and L&B Collection, to which we had manufactured with a company out in Bangladesh, India. We worked to get that in Walmart. We graduated from that to Keen, which is an actual production company, houses the show that we have named Relevant Conversations. That show is to get all of the creative people that we know together. We interview them and talk about different things that's going on in our community, how we are able to work it out, and hence ending up getting a deal with NBC Universal to do a talk show. However, COVID happened, and so we had to put a halt on it. But we've recently revived those conversations and should be filming as early as, I believe we said, September. So we're still in the talks of getting the filming date set and actually getting the studio done, which is upstairs, located upstairs from me in my space. We went from that to, we actually had Ladiworkz prior to Keen. We went to Ladiworkz. We actually had Ladiworkz prior to Keen Eye Visuals. Ladiworkz basically is the company that takes care of everything. I started Ladiworkz just because I was uncomfortable with the things that I was seeing. I started in the entertainment industry when I was about 17 years old. My family, though, I have a family full of entertainers. My great uncle was Willie Bryant, who was the opening voice for the Apollo theme song. And so you can see him if you Google him, you can see him everywhere. Like, he's doing tap dancing. He worked with people like Count Basie and Nat
King Cole. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. A lot of different people, Cap Calloway, and, geniuses like that. I've been around so many people since I was a child. And so I eventually started working in the entertainment industry, and at 17 again. And again, I was just uncomfortable with the things that I was seeing. So I took up classes in law entertainment law. And I wanted to be able to teach people not only how to read contracts, but how to write contracts. Just because what I was seeing was the executives at the record labels, they would come in and they would bring like paper and they would say, you know, sign this. And after telling them to sign it, they're like, don't worry about it. We'll get you a copy. And then when you read it, you let us know if you want anything changed. And we all know that that's just not accurate. That doesn't happen. You have to read it before you sign it. And no matter if you sign it after, no matter how many slashes you put through it and tell them you want corrections, it is what it is. It's finalized once it's signed. I wanted to be able to help change that, to which I did. And then eventually I retired from the music industry and went over to working in film. So it's just a lot. I pretty much do a whole lot. Now we're up here and we're located and based in Rockford, Illinois. So, you know, people come up here, they meet with me and we decide on if I want to work with them or not. But definitely making sure to help to instill the positiveness and build careers. I'm also a business educator. So I do business classes. We talk about the basics and the non-basics, the essentials to starting a business, owning a business, and how to maintain a business is very important, especially in our community. And the goal is to have longevity in business, not to just start a company for popularity, to which is what I come across quite often. So yeah, it's just a full functioning space around me. I also have a lounge. So yeah, we do a lot.
I tell you what, and do a lot is an understatement. And just how you broke down your story. It's this is where we started, this is where we are. These are some things that are on the horizon. And again, I think the underlying theme is empowerment. You
Yeah.
talk that at every step of the way. Empowerment through the lenses of understanding what to do and what not to do when it comes to a contract. Empowerment because of the types of projects you're doing in film. Empowerment because, like you said, you have the lounge space. So if someone is doing an event launch or a
Hmm.
virtual book festival, which is what I was involved in last fall, you
Right.
are providing, like you said, multiple layers of services so people at any level can
Hmm.
do something constructive and grow. And ultimately, as you're kind of really hinting, the catchphrase is win-win. Everybody can get something constructive in, a very constructive and business-like manner.
Hmm. Exactly.
That is awesome and a half. And I tell you what else is awesome, especially as a woman who is an entrepreneur, helping other women, for lack of a term, break through.
Oh yeah.
So I know you've got an event on the horizon. Walk through with us the particulars so women who are in business or looking to get in business, I tell you what, there's something you need to keep on the radar.
Oh yeah. So well, we have a few pertaining to business, and both of them are very important. The first one is the business seminar, which is called Know Your Business. That is to again help to help educate small business owners um, about the basics, and not just the basics, everything, the ins and outs, what they need to know, what they don't know. Some people are in business and they've been in business for a while, but it's a lot of things that they're running across like they don't understand. And my goal is to teach these business owners all the things that they don't understand about business. Being in business is one thing, knowing your craft is another thing, but actually knowing business is a whole nother thing. And we get caught up a lot in the fact that we do know that we have a craft and we do know that we want people to buy our goods, but we forget about the part where we have to do taxes, and we forget about the part where there's legal that's involved when we come across an issue. I had over the pandemic, we came across a lot of business owners, and that was great. However, I would come across people would come to me and they're like, I got this great macaroni and cheese, and I cook, and I'm like, well, that's good, and you got this great recipe that your whole family loves. However, do you have the ventilation system that you need to cook it? Are you cooking in the proper location, a commercial property? They don't understand that possibly, you know, if this person gets sick, do you have the finances to make sure that their hospital bills can be paid? And it's so much more that goes with it, legal ramifications, you know. I've had people to come to me and they'll say, well, you know, it's a good thing. I wish I would have found out prior to starting a business that I didn't need to have a diploma. Well, one of the downsides to that is, one, the way that you interact with people as a child, um, it follows you when you get older. Your comprehension, how you comprehend as a child, it follows you as you get older. Um, your knowledge, the things that you know, whether it be math, the things that you don't know, all of that matters. So if you become an adult business owner and all of a sudden you start yelling at people, when your consumer says to you, I don't like this, and you get angry with them, instead of conversing with them and having the proper tone that you need to have. Or when someone comes to you and they're in business and you give them their bag and thank them for purchasing they thank you for, you know, getting your item, and you say, "You're welcome, sweetie." Different words that we should not use, the way we respond to people. And we are in a time where everybody is "thank you, love," you know, "you welcome, honey." And these are terms of endearment. These are pet names that people use, and they don't belong in the place of business. While we may not think that these things are offensive, a lot of people may take offense to them because, for one, they're not your sweetie, they're not your child, and you're not a family member. So instead of using words in terms of endearment, what you do is you stick with things like "thank you." Thank you for coming into my business. Thank you for supporting my business, and nothing more, not the darlings and all of that. And so much more, you know, that goes into it, and understanding that, you know, there are things that you need to keep up with. There are things that are very important when it comes to conducting business that a lot of people don't know. And it takes more than just your famous recipe to keep a consumer. So that's the importance of this class. But then we have the women empowerment event that's coming up. And that we have a panelist of 10. That would be Celicia, celebrity coach, and she's a manager, agent. She's on TV One. Her sister, she manages her sister, Selena Johnson, who is also from Chicago. They currently live in Atlanta. Her sister she sings the song "Pay the Boss" to "Be the Boss." Pay the. I can't think of the name of it. Oh, guess what? That's one.
Something about. We'll say something that has to do with leadership. We'll just leave it.
That's horrible. I can't remember it. Jesus, that is horrible. Shame on me. They gotta forgive me. But they're really good people. They're awesome sisters, and that they just recently lost their father, Seal Johnson, who is also a staple in the community. He's been doing music since they were children. So he was in the blues area, you know, genre. So he's pretty good. We also have LaKyla Tellis, and Alicia Green, Bridget. We have so many people. It's going to be a great event. And that event is steers toward us being able to network together. Networking is very important in business. And a lot of business owners get stuck in their own city, you know, and that's a huge problem. And the fact that we have things like internet, and we also have the luxury of being able to do these pop-up the websites, and have people to purchase from you on the websites. If you have those types of services or goods or products, that's something that we should be using. One of the things that strikes me with business owners is that they often say things like, my family don't support me, or my friends don't support me. One of the things that's important to understand is, if you went into business thinking that you would become rich based off of your family supporting you. Even if they did, that would not happen, because how many times can your family purchase something from you? Even if they bought 10,000 things from you in a year, that's only 10,000 things that they brought. That doesn't get you to a millionaire status. You understand? Like, so what we have to get to, the point where we understand as a business owner that your goal is to get our branch outside of where you are. It's very important that we branch outside of our intersection, our community, because if you don't, you'll be stuck where you are. And your network is definitely your net worth. And a lot of times, one of the biggest things that we have to understand when it comes to being in business is it's important to understand your finances. You can't become a millionaire if you don't know what it takes to make $1,000,000. You know, like they're consistent with what it is they want to do, but they don't understand how finances work and what you need to do to get to that point. It's a goal, but they don't understand it. How you have to save, what you have to put up, what you need to be making in a week, what do you need to make in a month in order to make this in a year. That's very important. It goes from 83.333 to a whole 100,000. You have to make $100,000 in a year, and then get to the point where you're making $1,000,000. That's something that has to be understood, but that's in finances. So these are all the things, I think, when you're networking, you come together and you're able to find these things out. But most importantly, networking outside of your community is very important. And then building long-lasting relationships with other business owners. Like my business works because I work and network with people outside of Rockford. My business works well because of the people that I know outside of Rockford. I'm not just stuck in one location. And that's what we have to understand. We have to get outside of our box.
And I'm glad you broke all those things down, because another theme or another takeaway I just got from what you said is diversify. Diversify in regards to your audience,
Exactly.
people you meet. And one of the things is, and you kind of you dropped a lot of nuggets right there, but people have to understand the universe of people who you don't know is bigger than the universe of people you do know. And if you understand that, part of it is understanding, how do I engage with people who I don't know? So
Exactly.
goods, products, services, etc. So that way, even if someone does not make that immediate, we'll say, exchange or transaction, chances are they'll think, oh, I know somebody. And that ties in with the whole point of networking. And you never know, like you're kind of indirectly alluding to, you never know what relationships you can build to help create wins for everybody.
Yeah, well, one of the things when you go into business, you don't go into business if you're going to give up on yourself. You have to invest more than what you expect others to invest in you. No one's going to want to invest in you if you don't want to invest in yourself. And essentially, that's just believing in yourself and what it is you can do within yourself. So even if your business does not fly off the ground the first year, you have to give yourself 5 years to make it. The common business makes, you find out everything it is you need to know within that first 5 years. What are your ups, what are your downs? But also you got to give yourself a chance to fail. A lot of people are like, I'm going in business and man, this is going to be amazing. They base it off, again, they base it off of the people that they know. And going to, like me, I love Walmart. Sam Walton does not know me. He doesn't. So if his thought process was, everybody he came into the store he knew, I'm sure he wouldn't have Walmarts all over the world. A lot of times business owners fail because they are in the mindset that they have to make friendships with people. That's a huge downfall. Everybody that you come across does not need to be your friend. You need to conduct business, and we have to have business minds. And even when you have a friend in a business, your business is priority. Business and personal relationships have to be separated all the time. And we have our personal times, but business is always first. We cannot, again, if we walked into Walmart and we were like, well, I'm Sam's friend, he's like, I don't even know you, so you can't shop in here. That doesn't work. He wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Everybody who supports me is my friend. He wouldn't even have a Walmart. And I'm sure, I don't know how many friends he has, but it ain't the whole world. And he got a lot of Walmarts. So our mindsets have to be bigger than what we make it. And it definitely can't be about friendships. I'm sorry, but it's just not. So that's just not how you conduct business.
And again, even in this conversation, you're sharing, it's about understanding best practices. Why are these the practices you want to adopt? And it doesn't mean you don't put a little bit of your personal spin on it, but these are core principles that you want to use to allow yourself to grow. It's almost like, let's start off by putting our feet in the water. And then once we get a gauge of the temperature, we can go ahead and jump in the swimming pool. So
Exactly.
so I'm glad that you are breaking all these down. So here you are, like we said earlier, you've got a great business umbrella, a solid range of services from, like I said, film, arts and entertainment, business and entrepreneurship, things along those lines. With the two upcoming events, could you let people know the dates, times, location? Are there virtual options? Things along those lines.
Sure. So the Know Your Business seminar is you can find it on Eventbrite. It is a live virtual event as well as in person event. So obviously being virtual, you can do it from anywhere and during the time that we're having it. The thing that I like about that is the ones that I did last year, everybody was able to interact with each other, and again, they were able to network. One of the things that I found is the people that purchased tickets for that class and they did it virtually and in person, they still have business relationships. They're buying products from one another. And that's just basically me proving to myself that I'm accurate. I mean, I hate to sound that way, but I'm proving to myself that I'm accurate, that our business networking relationships, it helps to establish longevity in our communities everywhere. And just to help people to understand, this is also the way that we circulate our Black dollars. It is. When we're working with one another and we're doing it, it doesn't just have to be that we have to do it right here wherever we are. We could circulate our Black dollars by working with each other, city to city, state and state. That's very important. That event, the Know Your Business seminar, is March 19th. It's from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Again, it's in person as well as live virtual. That will be via Zoom. The tickets for virtual, I believe, are 100. The in-person tickets are $125. And again, they're at Eventbrite. You can find them at Eventbrite/Ladiworkz. The Women Empowerment event is April 9th. It starts from 12 noon until 7 p.m. That ticket can also be purchased at Eventbrite, and that ticket is $75. That is not a virtual event. It is only in person.
Okay. And as a reminder, these times are Central Time Zone, correct?
Correct. I'm sorry, Central Standard, yes.
Okay. Okay. No problem. Well, I tell you what, during this chat, you have shared great information. You shared information about your journey to how you got here. You have shared information regarding the services that are provided under the Ladiworkz umbrella. The two great events that are coming up to help people in business and entrepreneurship, whether just in general, as well as women who are in business and entrepreneurship. Before we get ready to wind down. And like I said, you shared a lot of great information. When you look at where you are and where you're preparing to go, what would be, and it's hard to sum it up in one statement, but what's one statement, suggestion, thought that you feel like you can leave with anyone who's watching live and people who will watch this repeat? What's one takeaway if people don't remember anything else, whether it's applicable for business or just in general? It's one thing you'd like to leave with people.
Um, Whether it be business or in your personal life, I would just leave. Never allow someone to build you up. If you allow someone to build you up, you will also allow them to tear you down. And it makes for a very difficult time. Know your strength, know what it is you have going on, and believe in yourself. If you believe in yourself, you don't need others to believe in you.
I tell you what, it all, like you said, it all starts by looking at the person in the mirror. That's where it all starts. So
Okay.
Brandy, you have shared some tremendous information. I thank you for your patience earlier. It was a little bit of a creative time, but we figured out a way. Before we go, what are the best ways for people to stay informed and engaged with the great work that you're doing under the business umbrella of Ladiworkz?
Well, I try to be as good as I can about marketing and promoting. I'm just really, I don't know. I'm on Instagram at Ladiworkz. I can be found on Facebook at Ladiworkz. And you can reach me at www.ladiworkz1.com, and that's LADIWORKZ1.com. My email address is info at ladiworkz1.com, and my business phone is 815-742-4754. So you can find out about me at any of those locations, and you can actually phone me if you want to. Everybody else do.
Off. I definitely want to say thank you for taking time out of your schedule of moving parts. Thank you for sharing your professional journey. Thank you for sharing the great work and the great resources you're providing through Ladiworkz. And again, those two dates are March 19th and April 9th for two great ways for people in business. That's the March 19th event. And April 9th is for women who are in business and entrepreneurship. To see this in its entirety, we're going to have this full video up on Instagram, and we will do a... Yes, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Tellis is actually on here, who I was talking about earlier, with the conic voice. She's actually one of the speakers at the Women Empowerment event as well. She has a nurses event coming. She has a nurses gala coming up soon. So you can actually find out about her on her page, which is, again, Iconic Voice. And I think her gala is going to be pretty nice, and it's a good paying homage to nurses, and they need it since going through COVID, I'm sure. So yeah, she's actually one of my clients as well.
Awesome. So we're going to as we review again, we thank you for walking through everything that you're doing, how you got here, the services provided through Ladiworkz, the two events coming up March 19th, as well as April the 9th. And as a quick reminder, for those of you on Instagram, please follow iconic_voice. They have a great gala that's coming up to help celebrate the contributions and impact of our nursing community. So thank you for doing that event. As a quick reminder, this full video will be up on our Ace Norton CCS, so you can catch it from the beginning. And we will have the video available on our YouTube channel at Creative Community Solutions. And we will also make sure to have the article and recap out later this week, along with the info for the events on March 19th, April 9th, and again, the main ways to stay connected. So I tell you what, as we get ready to draw us to a close, every once in a while, when we're doing our coverage, we get a chance to talk with some great people doing great things across arts and entertainment, sports, government and politics, business, community. And I tell you what, if this is your first time getting connected with the leadership of Ladiworkz, please do not let that be your last. If this is your first time getting connected with yours truly, please don't let that be your last either. Seriously. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, seriously, continued well wishes with all that you are doing for your personal, professional, and community growth. And make sure to check us out again on the web, acenortonccs.com, Creative Community Solutions on Facebook and YouTube, and then Ace Norton CCS on Instagram and Twitter. So again, all of you, before we wind down, we just want to acknowledge our folks that are joining us on Instagram. Bullet or the Bible, best wishes with all you're working on. Pages of Parker, best wishes with all the things you're doing. Lord Infinite _ DJ Agony, best wishes with all you're doing. Iconic _ voice, please connect with them ASAP because they've got their gala, which is helping celebrate and recognize the contributions of the nursing community. Marcel was hacked. Hopefully that's just the moniker and your account really wasn't hacked. Bayish Child, thank you so much. Bethany Clemenson, thank you for joining us. The Art of Transition podcast, thank you for joining us. And I think those are some of the main acknowledgments. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take good care, best wishes, and we'll see you real soon.
Okay, bye-bye.